So is this how another weekend's gonna start? Patrick. Patrick!
What? Samantha.
Are we gonna have a productive weekend? A positive weekend? An attempt to having a loving weekend?
And how do you suppose we accomplish this?
Laying here all day isn't gonna achieve it.
Well, whenever I choose to get up, I will consider handling whatever I choose to handle. But right now, I'm going to continue getting my rest. It's been a long week.
Of course it has.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It doesn't matter. Nothing is gonna change.
See, and that's the problem. It's the same old Samantha. Hell, you're just here. I'm just here. Coexisting and knowingly sharing the same fucking oxygen. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph.
Oh, so I'm boring now.
Well, you're certainly not fun to be around anymore. To be honest, and this shouldn't come as no surprise, when I do attempt to get something popping, you never in the mood. You too busy entertaining your crew. Or acting as if whatever we're doing, it's not fun. Man, what's the point anymore?
I'm sorry, Patrick.
Oh, are you? This isn't a new development. It's a common occurrence.
I'm sorry.
I've been busting my ass for a long fucking time now, alright? I've been going from this job to that job to getting laid off. I'm just trying to maintain a career to ensure we have the foundation that we need.
Look, I know it hasn't been easy.
Oh, you know, huh?
Yeah, I do. When we don't communicate and go days without speaking, there's no clear direction to where things are going between us. You're the man. Lead.
Lead. Like you will follow my direction anyway.
I would. Maybe if you made adjustments on how you lead. Patrick, you're the only man that I've truly taken seriously in my life. I didn't have a father growing up. There wasn't this shining example of what a man should be.
I'm aware. And like I said on many occasions, it's unfortunate your mother went through what she went through. It's not her fault. It's not your fault. And I should have to pay for the sins of a man who I never met and who you never knew.
I just wish I knew who my father was. I hear you talk about the times and moments you shared with your father, and I just get jealous sometimes. And it doesn't make it any better when I'm at work seeing people in their worst moments, men and women clinging on to what's left of life. Loved ones getting the news that God has called them home. It's depressing.
I can imagine that being stressful. I'm sorry. I guess I haven't given it much thought.
I hear you.
After my mother passed, I felt like you didn't care. Like what and how I was doing, it didn't matter to you.
Patrick, you know your family don't mess with me.
And why is that, Samantha?
I don't know what you ran your mouth and told your folks I'm not around. You probably say God knows what and gave every unnecessary detail about our business.
Well, I wasn't the one that cheated.
And that wasn't your family's business either, Patrick. And don't act like you're some saint in this. You got skeletons too. I ignored plenty of things that I could have flown off the handles about, but I chose not to.
Sorry, baby.
We don't don't even make love like we used to. I sound like a man just hearing myself say that. Crazy. I got to beg, basically throwing myself at you just to get some around here.
Really, Samantha?
Yeah, really. When's the last time you've tasted me?
I don't know.
What, you don't get hungry anymore?
I do. I just choose to eat actual food.
And I guess we'll never work on having that family we used to talk about either, huh?
Well, it's kind of hard to envision starting one. Emphasis on we.
Listen. I can't go back and change the past. I'm sorry for what I did back then. I'm sorry for what I did during a period of vulnerability. It was a bad time for me.
It was a bad time and definitely the wrong person. Samantha, cheating with anybody is wrong, especially with someone who I thought was my best friend.
And I'm sorry, Patrick. I've always been sorry.
Yo, and to make matters worse, you ended up pregnant. So now I'm dealing with the fact that my wife not only cheated on me, but cheated on me with my best friend and got fucking pregnant. Get the fuck out of here, Sam. Man, that shit crazy.
I'm so sorry, Patrick. I truly am. I've been trying for so long to regain your trust and rebuild what we once had.
When you had the miscarriage, in my private moments, I was relieved in a sense. I didn't know how to properly show support in that moment. It was rough. Even then, and up to this point, I still wanted to begin a family. Wanting a son. I just didn't know if I should have a child with someone who may be unstable. You know, not wanting all of what I wanted out of life.
And here I was during that same time, thinking you were giving my attention to someone else. You were always gone on the road. The phone calls began to fade and became few and far and in between. And then when I would bring it to your attention, your silence to me said a lot.
You wanna know why I wouldn't call you, Sam?
Why, Pat?
Because I was enjoying being away from you at that moment. That time away, I was able to breathe. I was able to think. It was just too much on my mind. Talking to you, it clouded my thoughts.
I understand. Like I said, I was going through a lot of stuff too.
Well, earlier you mentioned me sharing stories about my father, right?
Yeah.
Well, the only reason I would do that is because it was the only memories I had of my father. He wasn't really there. He was there, but he wasn't really there. I mean, he would always try to come home for some fuck up on his part to please my mom. Me, I was just happy to be doing something with my pops.
You had a father though.
And you got a point.
Like I said, I'm sorry again for any trouble and pain I caused you.
I'm sorry for not being there emotionally, mentally, and physically. Truly expressing myself and leading the way I should have. I love you, Samantha.
I love you too.